Hey everyone, it's Kai from Kool Collectibles. It's been a while since I've done a G1 vintage retrospective look at my old Transformers toys that I had as I was a kid. And with everyone getting their new Masterpiece scale to Polygon figures from X-Transbots, I figured it was time for me to have a look back at my old Megatron figure here. And as you can see, it's probably in a bit worse for wear, but overall it's still a pretty amazing figure for its age. You can see here along the copyright symbols and so on here. So there's the Dakar, and the original copyright was in 1974, so that's, what is that, 40 odd years? So it's pretty amazing that this figure is that old to me, and still stands up today. As you know, some of the engineering, you can see that they've probably were restricted with the sort of technology of the day, but overall it's pretty amazing feat for the times. So it has a pretty good amount of die cast as well. So the feet here are die cast, and so a lot of the internal components as well are die cast. And you know, even the transformations of today with the engineering, the internal mechanisms to get this sort of pistol into the robot form still relies on very similar sort of techniques with the die cast limbs and metal rods and so on. So they were on a good thing, Takara, back in the day. And hopefully they do end up releasing their own version soon. So along with the pistol, it comes with the usual pieces for the sniper kit, which were pretty cool. And here's his iconic fusion cannon. And you pretty much just slide all these pieces on. So at the back there, slide the sight on, which is pretty tight now, no, not too bad. And then the front silencer, and you'll see that my front bit there is a bit loose, which you'll see why in a second. But there he is in his iconic full Megatron alt mode, which even to this day, in Transformers land at least, you don't get much more iconic than this sort of look. And I guess it really has stood the test of time. I guess, even back in the day, Transformers scale never really made any sense. I mean, Soundwave transformed from a huge robot into a boombox that was accurately sized, but Megatron transformed into this gun that was not human pistol size, but robot or Decepticon pistol size, which, when you think about it, doesn't really make that much sense. But not to worry, the Transformers scale back in the cartoon days was all over the place. So I'll just take that off for the sake of the transformation. So as you can see, the sliding mechanism's a bit tight. All of my stickers are pretty much worn away, so you can't even see the insignia there. Some of the stickering has peeled off. But the plastic itself is still holding up fairly well. And I guess, looking through the transformation, there's probably a bit of paint rub and so on inside, but nothing rusting or anything major like that. I guess the chrome here is starting to come off. You can see where the yellow bits are. But overall, for a figure from 1984, 30 odd years, pretty damn amazing. I'll just quickly transform it. I haven't done this in years, so I don't even know if I can quite remember how to actually transform him. But I think you just pull these legs out first, or down. There we go. God, that felt a bit tight. I hope I don't break anything doing this. But there's his chicken legs, which when you look and see how he looks against the cartoon, I guess it is a shame they couldn't figure out a way to make that fit and look a little bit better. I mean, there's the sort of whole die cast mechanism here that has been pretty much replicated by Apollyon to some extent, and probably even MP5 as well. So I guess you need that sort of mechanism to transform this whole section into something that resembles his bot mode. And you then just turn that around. And this is where, unfortunately, I did have a breakage, probably about 20 years ago, I think now. So that little section here, when you lift that up, there's a little hinge here, and that held that little vertical pin there, and that snapped off. So this normally this swings around, and then you swing this whole cannon piece down and up next to his crotch, but I'll show you that in a second anyway. So you just lift that up, and that's pretty much his iconic chest piece there with his torso, and you just sort of get all of those little die-cast bits and slot it in there at the back so everything fits in fairly nicely. And there you get a glimpse of his head sculpt there, which I'll show you in a second. So the stickers on the inside of the arms here are still holding up not too badly. Just slide out his fists. Do the same on this side. Slide out his fists. And you'll see that the fists do have a little hole for his weapon. And I have it in my drawer here somewhere, but I haven't been able to find it. So I did see it a couple of weeks ago, so it's in the house somewhere. And then you pretty much just slide his fusion cannon back on, if I can, like so. And that is pretty much it in bot mode. And he was actually, when I first did this a couple of weeks ago, he was actually a bit shorter than I remembered. So I thought there might have been some mechanism I was missing in the legs here. As you can see, the stickers are pretty good on the legs there too for all this time. Bit squeaky, but they're holding up not too badly. That I've got a lot of Transformers where the sliding mechanism's worn away over time and they can't really stand up much like a Astro Train. But Megatron here isn't doing too badly. So there he is. He doesn't even lean like MP5 does with his fusion cannon there. I think there is a way to set it up so that you have all of these pieces up underneath here, but for the life of me I can't remember how to do that. And this piece here, if you rotate it around properly, should be sitting underneath like so. Something like that anyway, but I won't worry about that. But overall, he, from a nostalgia perspective, he does look pretty damn cool. And that head sculpt, I guess it's disappointing that back in the day they didn't have really a lot of consistency in that Decepticon look, where Megatron, similar to Soundwave, had yellow eyes, which as we all know they should have red as per the cartoon. But not to worry, I guess even now he's got the iconic sort of eyebrows up the top there, the black stuff. I've got a bit of paint rub on the nose and the forehead there. But I guess with this sculpt, the lower part of his head is a bit squished, so it's not the best looking head sculpt. I do have to say the Apollyon head sculpt is probably the best Megatron head sculpt that's pretty much ever been made, I think. It definitely beats the MP5 hands down in pretty much every way, except for maybe size, pure size. But with MP scale the way it is now, the Apollyon is probably the figure to get if you're looking to get a new Megatron. But for the G1 fanatics and a bit of nostalgia, I think this is definitely a fantastic figure. And to think that they were able to sort of come up with this 40 years ago and still sort of hold up this well, it's pretty impressive on the part of Takara. I guess with I'll see if I can actually remember how to do this. You can form some sort of mega cannon thing, which I think you sort of fold these out, if that doesn't, feels like it's stuck in there. So you form that. Oh, there we go, the handles for the cannon. And yep, I've taken that piece off, so I think that goes in there. And then I think you can put the fusion cannon on the top. I'm not sure, actually. Was that? I think that might. Was that? Oh, I've got no idea. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if I've totally screwed that up. I'm not sure how that how this piece is meant to go, and I can't quite remember what this thing here does either. So let me know if I've done it completely wrong, which I probably have. But then you can sort of come in and have him sort of hold that cannon somehow like that. So lots of playability back in the day, and certainly looked fantastic next to Optimus with his trailer as well. So a pretty awesome couple of Decepticon leaders for the 80s. So hope you guys like that quick look. I've got a whole bunch of reviews coming up soon with the Combiner Wars, with Ultra Magnus and Quickslinger and Breakneck, and also the first Takara Combiner Wars figure in their Superion set. So hopefully you can stick around for that, and I've got a whole bunch of 1/6 scale figures coming up as well. So I hope you can click that subscribe button and stay tuned, and hope you guys like that quick look. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.